can do an MLS Bitcoin Club coming to you live and direct. And yes, I am using my computer, moving around and seeing what's going on. So I have a screen up. I have some stuff going on. The system might be working better today. I'm going to check it out and see, all right, because I've been going through problems with my Zoom and it hadn't been behaving properly. So I'm going to try tonight to do a presentation and we'll see how it works. Hopefully, I'll be able to get this done. It's been giving me problems. Like I said, every time I load my images and I want to present, it was becoming an issue for me. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to sweat it. I'm just going to work through it and see what goes on. So I want to invite you tonight to listen to my presentation about the MLS Bitcoin Club. I want to let you know from the door, I am not a financial advisor. Any information I'm sharing with you is strictly based on what I have experienced with inside this club, what we are learning, and what the capabilities of being part of this great foundation can do for you. All right. We do not encourage people to do anything outside of their comfort zone. And this is an educational financial literacy club and a peer to peer site of cryptocurrency, namely Bitcoin. So, with that being said, I want to welcome you to the call. This is the MLS Bitcoin Club where together we can prosper. And people ask, are we here to stay? Absolutely. We are here to stay. This is a platform, like I said, unlike any other known. And there are 10 communities, 9 elevation levels to success. Inside of our club, everyone must enter at the starter level. We recommend that new members come in as a fast track, which is the starter level and level one at the same time, but the choice is yours. All right. We also have a wealth formula that equals L3 and 30 equals 1. That's 1 Bitcoin. So what's behind that saying is that once you come in, you go through starter level, level 1, level 2, and reach level 3. Once you have cycled through level 3, which is a very exciting level because that's where you get your business suite and stuff, and you find out about funding your LLCs and stuff and getting that business credit in that level. But L3 is special as well because at that point you're a team leader. And once you have cycled through starter up to L1, you have accrued over 1 Bitcoin. Okay. And that's huge. For somebody, you can do this in 90 days. You can do it in 60 days. 1 Bitcoin right now is $8,200. Let me look at I'll tell you the price right now. I don't want to lie to you. All right, 1 Bitcoin today is 82.52 right now, right today, 7:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 13th. It is $8,251 for 1 Bitcoin. So, as we move forward in this presentation, I want to tell you L4 is the ruby, L5 is the sweet spot. That's L5 to drive. And the amazing thing about L5 is right now a lot of our team is on L5 and we're promoting this level because you come in with 1 Bitcoin, but you leave with 4 Bitcoin maximum. 3 is the minimum you could leave that level with. And I'll explain to you why there's a difference in the amount of Bitcoin you can leave a level with when we're further down the line. So L6 is diamond. L7 is double diamond, another sweet spot because when you leave there, you'll be accruing 9 Bitcoin. And I gotta tell you, the money, the dollar amounts that you're accruing when you are in these levels is phenomenal. It's really a lot of money. It can happen really quickly, and it can happen slowly depending on how you're rolling. If you're bringing members in, you're sharing this, and you come in with people, you can earn back your money immediately. All right, through a peer-to-peer donation. I'm just going to give you an example. 9 Bitcoin today is $74,251. Can you imagine just getting that money in the frame of a day, in a frame of a week, in the time span of a month? 74,000. Some people only make that in a year. You can do that here in this club in one day. You can do it in a week. If you have a dedicated team of people who follow each other through here, you can cycle and go through this whole platform all of these levels, which is designed to bring you over $300,000. And I'm going to tell you right now, 36 Bitcoin at level 10 is a total of 29,007. Oh, I'm sorry, $297,022. That's almost $300,000 right there. All right, just that level alone. Once you go from starter level to level 9, you have accrued 74.52 Bitcoin. 74.52 Bitcoin today is $614,835. That's over $500,000. This system is crazy. And inside of each level, there's financial literacy lessons, videos, platforms, tools that help you to reach that next level, to reach that next level. So this is an absolutely phenomenal thing. All right. A lot of people aren't really big on Bitcoin, but I want you to hear what the wealthy people are saying about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because it is very relevant. It's a world that we're all going to experience. So check this out.
How is money going to change? How is money? Well, poor people don't have bank accounts, and so when they have an emergency, they want to borrow, save. It's very tough. Small transactions, the fees are just too high when you have banks and ATMs and all that. If we take the cell phone and just use digital currency, then you can have all those financial services. So 2 billion people who don't have any kind of bank account will have all sorts of innovative services, help them save, pay for education. And it requires a little bit of work getting the regulation right, getting it to critical mass, getting people to trust it. But the magic of that cell phone with the right software means that people have banking, and that's really big for their lives. They can borrow when they need to. And
it's interesting because everyone has a cell phone and a smartphone. Here with Bill Gates, we know him from Microsoft. We now know him for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill, it's great to see you. Great to see you here in particular because we know the Gates Foundation for its work on infectious diseases, child health, nutrition, agriculture, education, the list goes on. Why does Bill Gates care about finance?
Well, it's all about helping the poorest. And one thing they don't have access to is bank accounts. The fee structure, if you have small amounts of money, is just too high. And we got involved in some traditional microlending, but just didn't see how that could scale up and get inexpensive enough. So now we're involved in trying to make sure we get a very efficient digital payment structure set up for all the poorest in the world to get financial products that work for them.
What are you doing?
The idea is that typically through the cell phone, you should be able to send money to your relatives. You should be able to track the money that's coming in, set aside money to buy seeds the next year. And there are countries where this is beginning to take off. Kenya, Bangladesh, even Somalia, maybe the last country you'd expect up in Somaliland. Almost half of the GDP is done digitally.
I don't need to tell you that the poor have been unbanked for as long as there have been banks. Why is this time different?
Well, it's really the digital revolution. The poorest have bought cows, stored gold, put currency under their mattress, but they are getting cell phones, and the cell phone capability of identifying who's using the cell phone, letting you look at your spending patterns, that's going to be common sense. People are going to have help and lots of innovative products competing on top of this digital currency platform.
So if technology, mobile phones, for example, digital money helps to increase access to financial services at the same time as it lowers the cost of delivery, why is philanthropy needed?
Philanthropy should just be here to bootstrap this. There are a lot of regulations in this area, and understanding how those regulations can make the cost of remittances, where you're sending money back to your family in your country of origin, how right now that has about a 5% overhead on it. We think we have a role to make sure that, particularly for the smaller transactions, the regulations don't impose those very high costs. Once this gets going, then we'll step up to the applications and say, okay, how does a savings application help the mother make sure money's focused on the kids? How does it help them stay in school? Set money aside for the uniform or for good future planning.
Some of what you just described, the need to move money from place to place, the cost of doing so, the overhead, as you put it, makes me think, believe it or not, of Bitcoin, because some people have said, hey, Bitcoin is the answer to those problems. Are you a believer?
Well, Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place. And of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient. The customers we're talking about aren't trying to be anonymous. They're willing to be known. So the Bitcoin technology is key, and you could add to it, or you could build a similar technology where there's enough attribution that people feel comfortable. This has nothing to do with terrorism or any type of money laundering.
What kinds of people or private enterprises right now are helping to solve the same problems you're interested in?
Well, in some countries, the mobile companies have been fantastic. In a few other companies, it's been the banks. In some countries, it's a startup company that's neither a bank nor a mobile company. In Bangladesh, the Bcash offering runs across any phone, and they've gotten the regulations so that they have a product that we think will get very, very pervasive. So entrepreneurs are there. The enablement this creates, if you want to put in, say, electricity in a city, collecting your bills is one of the reasons why the underspending of infrastructure in these areas is a real thing holding back the economy.
You mentioned banks. Are the legacy institutions, for the most part, banks, credit card companies, payment processors, friend or foe?
Many of them want to have these additional customers, but they have to embrace the idea that the fees are going to be a lot lower, and so they have to find a way to service these new customers. Now, that means these customers aren't going to be coming into their branches, and they can charge a higher fee when you want to actually cash out. But if it's a pure digital transaction, then you should be paying less than 1% to move that money from you to a merchant or from you to a friend, even with meeting all the regulatory requirements.
Bitcoin is something that you've been interested in and supportive of. In fact, one can pay for a tour on Virgin Galactic up to the moon with Bitcoin. I think the Winklevoss twins have said that they would do exactly that. Do you think this is a currency that's really going to work eventually?
Well, I think it is working, and there will be other currencies like it that may be even better. But in the meantime, there's a big industry around Bitcoin, and people have made fortunes out of Bitcoin. Some people have lost money out of Bitcoin.
It's volatile. It's volatile.
Yeah, it is quite volatile. But when in volatility, people can make money out of volatile situations.
Why was it important for you to give it sort of that stamp of approval, that endorsement, by saying to the Winklevoss twins, yes, you can pay for the ride with Bitcoin?
Because I'm not foolish. I mean, if people have got lots of Bitcoins and they want to go to space, I'd much rather they spend that money on our spaceship. Whether I keep 50 Bitcoins is another matter. But I'd much rather they spend that money on a Virgin Galactic spaceship.
I bet you would, Sir
Elon will be
Richard.
sending people to space one day on Elon's spaceship, so we'll grab the money while it's there.
And so that's another reallocation of trillions of dollars. And then in financial services, Chris talked about it earlier, but Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill. Okay? We are entering a completely world of uncharted water right now.
Have you made any investments in Bitcoin?
So, I own Bitcoin in my hedge fund. I own Bitcoin in my fund. I own Bitcoin in my private account. It is a huge deal. It's a huge, huge, huge deal. Because what you're talking about right now is, for the next 3 to 5 years, an unbelievably better store of value. It is gold 2.0, right? The value of gold that hedges the world economy about $9 trillion, right? $1,300 an ounce, of which only $100 to $150 is the actual production value. So all the rest of it is imputed. where Lena, you and I have decided that it's worth $1,300 an ounce. Well, guess what? I can do the same thing with Bitcoin, except now I can do it outside the purview of every single government. It's being used everywhere where you would think it would be used. Russia, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Venezuela, Argentina, everywhere where you have currency pressure, everywhere where you want to basically shield your assets. And then after that, it'll probably become a payment mechanism. So in all of these three industries, you're talking about trillions of dollars up for grabs. Up for grabs, right? And it's just about trying something, right? And taking a few months to understand what the opportunity is and then hit the scene. And I think that the cool thing is it's easier to know how to code. It's actually useful in a way where, you can probably hack something together yourself. You can find folks. And so this is the time where people should be trying really big, crazy things.
That's a great way to end. Thank you so much, Mark. Kevin O'Leary is our business commentator and the chair of O'Leary Funds. We know he has a thought or two on that. Nice to see you in studio again this morning. No, but what's going on with this huge rise from $20 way up into the hundreds and then a precipitous fall yesterday?
Well, let's remember that until yesterday, most people around the world never heard of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, for those who don't know it, is basically virtual currency, the same that you get for blasting aliens in a video game, except now traded globally. You can buy Bitcoins with virtually any currency on Earth and convert back into any currency or buy goods and services
well,
with
we talked about the story. What really got us talking about Bitcoin was the guy in Edmonton who was selling his house for the first time, wanted 400,000 in Bitcoins.
So I think the best way to look at this is a proxy for the mistrust individuals have of central bankers. If you're willing to take Bitcoin as a currency, a virtual Barbie currency to me, it has no basis, no central banker, no hard asset behind it. But if you don't trust any other currency, this is where you go. So it's essentially what's happening here, Heather. People all around the world are saying, I've had it with my central banker. I don't trust politicians anymore. I'm going to trade with this currency with my computer and my cell phone.
Well, they did that. The reason that Bitcoin shot up was after Cyprus, when they thought the government was going to get the hands on the money in the bank. So people turned to Bitcoin to keep them protected.
So I ignore everything till it gets to $1 billion in market cap. Okay. That happened recently with Bitcoin, well over $1 billion in value. So it's here to stay. When you've accumulated a virtual worth of $1 billion, and people are willing to trade it and actually buy things with it, turn it back into hard assets. And here's the key, Heather. Owners of hard assets are willing to take Bitcoin. This is here to stay. That's what's going to happen. And no central bank can control it.
You just called it a Barbie currency. I was going to say, is it all hocus pocus? Is it a legitimate form of currency to trade?
It is. And as soon as it passed $1 billion and someone bought a hard asset with it, in my books, as an investor, it became real. Now, at the same time, because relative to all other currencies, it's tiny. $1 billion is irrelevant in the currency market. Remember, the currency markets are the largest markets on Earth, bigger than commodities, bigger than stocks, bigger than bonds. It's going to grow, but it's going to take a long time. But the key is volatility. Nobody's going to put a large part of their net worth into this thing because it can go up and down 60% in a day, as we saw yesterday. But is it here to stay? Oh, yeah. So will I take 2 or 3% in Bitcoins? I think I might. I'm going to start looking at it.
Are you really? I was going to say, are you into this at all?
I have a basket of currencies, Heather. The way you diversify your risk in currencies is to own many of them. I own euros, I own Swiss francs, I own Canadian dollars, American dollars, and I might start to dabble, a little dabble-do-ya Bitcoin.
That's exactly what I was going to say. All right, Thank you for the primer, Kevin O'Leary, our business commentator.
So there you have it. Kevin O'Leary, he said a little dabble do you, and he said once they reached $1 billion and went forward, that's when he realized, yes, it is a legitimate currency. This is not a joke. Bitcoin is here to stay. So I just wanted to, I'm gonna move forward a little bit. Okay. My computer is acting up, so excuse me. So really, people are still confused about what Bitcoin actually is. So Bitcoin's inventor, Satoshi Nakamoto, outlined what Bitcoin is in the original 2009 Bitcoin white paper. And he described Bitcoin, which is also known as digital cash, as the first cryptocurrency, an international payment network, and the Internet of Money. Whatever you want to call it, Bitcoin is a revolution that is changing the way people think about and use money. And you have to hear it. Bill Gates said Bitcoin is better than money in that it can be moved around easily without the constraints that banks put on people and try to oppress and keep poor people around. Chantham said that it is gold 2.0. That's wrong. Right now, Bitcoin is gold 5.0. It is to the fifth power. You can buy 5 ounces of gold with one Bitcoin. You can't, and anywhere that they sell gold, they will take your cryptocurrency. They will take your Bitcoin. Some places will take your Litecoin, but Bitcoin is wanted worldwide. And people say that gold backs money. Gold is money, but when they're willing to accept your Bitcoin, you have to realize that Bitcoin is money. It is digital currency. It is essential that you get involved right now because it's gonna go crazy. It is just this is the time to get great and crazy things. A little dab will do you. That's all I can tell you. So what is the white paper? All right. And mind you, in this white paper that was written about Bitcoin, it mentions a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. That's what MLS is. But a white paper is actually the document that created the roadmap and social contract for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, also known as altcoins. And here's a description of some other coins. So here's an image of Bitcoin. Then you have altcoins. You have Monero, you have Ether, you have Dash, and you have Ripple. Now, the funny thing about Ripple, which is indicated here with the little 3 ears, like Mickey Mouse ears, Ripple is not a truly decentralized cryptocurrency. It is a federally generated cryptocurrency, which will be taxed at some point and is monitored. All right, I'm not saying you don't own it. People own all different types of cryptocurrencies. Some people have Litecoin, some people have Ethereum, people have Dash, some people have Monero, some people have Bitcoin Cash, people have Bitcoin Gold. There are thousands and thousands of altcoins out here, okay? But we have the richest people talking about Bitcoin. We have Bill Gates, who just told you Bitcoin is better than money. We have Sir Richard Branson. He is getting ready to do a space shuttle to the moon and is accepting Bitcoin as payment to go to the moon. I'm not spending my money to go to the moon with Richard Branson. I'm going to keep my Bitcoin in my Trezor and watch it grow exponentially, and then I'll dip in, okay? We have Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and he took money as payment for record deals. And then when Bitcoin exploded in 2017, this guy had a newfound wealth of close to $8 million, and he has been a crypto enthusiast ever since. It was like a refreshing new thing. And here you have this entrepreneur, this Bitcoin tycoon, Mr. Roger Ver, who invested his life savings in Bitcoin. Yes, he did. He is a young genius, and he is ready and willing to change the world through cryptocurrency and blockchain. So Bitcoin is the grandfather of all crypto. Getting started with cryptocurrency, you could download a wallet. Bitcoin is received, stored, and sent using software known as a Bitcoin wallet. Download the official Bitcoin.com wallet for free. Okay? But you must keep your Bitcoin safe under lock and key. The safest device to store your cryptocurrency is a Trezor. It's also known as a hard or a cold wallet. This is what a Trezor looks like. They got some that vary a little bit. Mine is similar to that one. It's a very simple device, but it's a very secure device. So you could buy Bitcoin. You could purchase Bitcoin using a credit card or with your linked bank account via an online exchange. There are several different online exchanges that you may use to purchase cryptocurrency as well as Bitcoin ATMs available worldwide. So you want to open an account at an exchange, that would be considered buying online, okay? Cryptocurrency exchanges will buy and sell Bitcoin on your behalf. There are hundreds currently operating with varying degrees of liquidity and security. New ones continue to emerge while others end up closing down. As with wallets, it's advisable to do some research before choosing. You may be lucky enough to have several reputable changes or exchanges to choose from, or access may be limited to one or two, depending on your geographical area. So where you live plays a large role in how much access you have to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, namely Bitcoin, because that's what we are interested in, okay? The largest Bitcoin exchange in the world at the moment in terms of US dollar volume is Bitfinex. Although it's mainly aimed at spot traders, other high volume exchanges are Bitstamp and Poloniex. For most small accounts, more reputable exchanges should work well. I personally use Coinbase and GDAX, which is Coinbase Pro now. Okay. You also have an option to buy with cash. So you could choose a purchase method. Platforms such as local Bitcoins will help you find individuals near you who are willing to exchange Bitcoin for cash. Also, LibertyX lists retail outlets across the United States which you could exchange cash for Bitcoin. Wall of Coins, Paxful, and BitQuick will direct you to a bank branch near you that will allow you to make a cash deposit and receive Bitcoin in a few hours later. All right. I'm not with that bank thing. I don't want to go into any branch of any bank and give my money to them and wait a few hours later for a Bitcoin deposit. I'm just not the one that's going to do that. Some people may think that that's convenient. It may depend on where you're located. It may, be a different country. It might be a different platform, but I prefer to purchase mine online or through another method and have it secured wherever I'm going to place it, whether it's a trading platform, whether it's in my Tracer, whether I'm sending it somewhere or what have you. But I am not going to go into a bank branch and be buying anybody's Bitcoin. So ATMs are machines that will send money to you, Bitcoin, to your wallet in exchange for cash. They operate in a similar way to bank ATMs. You feed in the bills, hold your wallet's QR code up to the screen, and then a corresponding amount of Bitcoin are beamed into your account. So Coin ATM Radar can help you to find a Bitcoin ATM near you. Now, there are over 1,200 Bitcoin ATMs all over the world. We have a 24/7 one that's in Iceland up here. Like, are you serious? We got them in the North Atlantic. We have them in Hudson Bay. We have them in the United States of America, up in Canada. We have them in Colombia, Brazil, Kenya, Africa. We have them in Tuscany and Russia. Oh my God, in Kazakhstan, in China, South Korea, and Australia. I mean, they're literally all over the world. Now, we have several hundred Bitcoin ATMs right here in the United States. The picture of this one right here was in Las Vegas, Nevada. People walk past these machines all day, every day, and don't even realize what they're passing by. They're in stores in northern New Jersey, all over the state. You may pass them right now on the street. Some are actually housed inside of banks, and then you have other coin machines that have a dual capacity and are also Bitcoin ATMs. You just got to read the front of them, but they're all over, literally all over the world, all over the United States and Canada. And it's just a refreshing thing to know they are really getting it. That Bitcoin is here to stay. So let it grow, then utilize it. Yes, you can use your Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes it easy to send real money quickly anywhere in the world. Bitcoin can also be used to make purchases with a variety of online retailers. Just today, one Bitcoin right now is $8,245. This was a couple of weeks ago. It went up, it spiked, and it will go up to that again. And it's going to exceed that too. And you can put the Bitcoin on your BitPay Visa card and go shopping. You can purchase items everywhere that these logos are accepted. So familiar places you may see the Bitcoin accepted here logo are Microsoft, Overstock.com, Dell, Amazon, KFC, Shopify, CheapAir.com, Starbucks, MLS Bitcoin Club, the United Way, Subway, ForRealCeil, that's me, and the Cash App. We also know that Alibaba accepts Bitcoin, Overstock.com, again, as I said, PayPal, Google, and Facebook is actually coming out with their own coin. So you might say, well, what exactly can I buy? What can I spend Bitcoin on? Well, big boy and girl toys. We're talking about Lamborghinis and Ferraris. We're talking about private jets. We're talking about bullion, gold bars. I just told you that you could buy 5 ounces of gold with 1 Bitcoin today. All right, and that's huge, right? Tropical island paradise getaways, and your beautiful dream homes. You can buy all these now with Bitcoin. So our club, the MLS Bitcoin Club, is a one-time out-of-pocket cost to join our club. No monthly payments, fully automatic payment system, no request for withdrawal, peer-to-peer system, no selling, no haters. The steps towards your financial freedom are here. So The founder and visionary of the MLS Bitcoin Club is Mr. Barry Perkinson. He hails from Newark, New Jersey, where he had an extremely tough time growing up. It was scary, exciting, and he faced a lot of adversity. So there were times where he could have given up, where he could have decided to go bad, get in gangs, go violent, get in the wrong things and fail at life. But he didn't go wrong. He went right. He wants to grow and encourage people. He wants to discover our passions and teach us the 5 pillars to wealth. So help us achieve. But he decided to give his service to the United States of America, and he went into the military for 20 years. During that time, he became a computer engineer, which is why he is able to put all this stuff together, mastermind the website that we have, which is known as MLS, the back office, where we have all this financial literacy and all these tools and personal development things here for us. He's a master trader, hence his nickname Wall Street. He sat at his desk at work at SunTrust before he got into trading and before he just became a self-made millionaire. And he said, I'm trading. So he's learning to trade. He made his whole year's salary in a matter of hours at his desk. So he knew that they were going to be laying off people from SunTrust, and he went to his bosses and told them, you know what, before you lay anybody off, just lay me off. And they were like, what? But the day came, and not only did they lay him off, but they laid off the entire team because they downsized and they closed out or phased out what they were doing. But the thing is, you're never prepared enough. And he decided, going through trials with cryptocurrency stuff there and in life, watching people struggle, in life, growing up poor and seeing the bitter hard times that people endure, that his children, his grandchildren, his great grandchildren will never suffer the same thing. So he designed this platform that we're using right now for them. It wasn't even designed for us, but we're fortunate enough to be able to share and to be in a part of this. So he created a safe system for members to accumulate Bitcoin for free while growing financial knowledge that will elevate you and your family to a better lifestyle, hence the MLS Bitcoin Club. So there are 3 steps to wealth. It's cash flow, a system, and execution. If you don't execute, you will not move forward, you will not grow, and you need execution to do so. Okay? The MLS Bitcoin Club's first goal should be to join. You have to join the starter level, and it will be advisable to join level 1, which is called the fast track. This makes your money tree explode. So when you join this 2 levels at one time, it's roughly $623 to do that. All right. So by now, you're probably like, all right, how does this really work? Well, I'm going to show you right now. Okay. So you see these little wine glasses here. These indicate spillage, all right? And what spillage is when someone else invites a guest that winds up in your community with no involvement from you at all, okay? So keep that in mind that it can happen. And when that happens on your A line, you will not get a contribution from that person joining the club. However, it will fill your community quicker and it will take less people in order for you to get a payment or a contribution, all right? So here you are, you're moving into a community. So you're coming in, and let's say, for instance, of this platform, you're going to do the fast traps. So this is the starting level on level 1. You're paying to the person who invited you to the club $622. So you donate $622 to Bitcoin, and they give you a spot at this beautiful community. And this community is a place where you have 6 rooms that you need to fill. And you say, hey, Ed, and hey, Ted, I'm about to move into this community. I'm getting this new house. It's really nice. I got 6 rooms. I'm going to rent them out. And I'll tell you what, the rent is going to be $622, right? And that's all you have to pay. You'll never have to pay me anything else again, just $622. And when you come in and pay your rent, you can bring 2 people. And if you rent the rooms to them, I'll give you half the rent. How does that sound to you? And they say, wonderful. Wow, that's great, right? So Ed brings in a person. The 622 comes to you, and half of it goes to the person who invited you to this club. Ted brings his person, and then half goes to you and half goes to the person upstairs. Once you have Ted and Ed in your house, You don't owe the person that brought you into this club anything else. They give you your keys. You are the landlord and you own this community. This is your community. Your lock, stock, and barrel, the landlord. So now you say, Ed, all right, remember what I said? If you bring 2 people in and get the rent for me $622, I'll give you half. So that's cool. So Ed brings the person, he brings his first person on line B. On line B, you'll receive 50% of the donation if your team invited the new member, or 100% if you invited the new member to the community. And remember what I talked about spillage? Okay, so in the event that you invited a member to the community and they landed under Ed's team, that would be spillage on Ed's line A, all right? And he would not receive a donation, but you would, all right? And the person who invited you would receive the other donation, and that's how that works. But that other person will always remain inside of Ed's community, all right? So remember that. Moving forward. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Sorry, that's a mistake. All right, I just hit. Wow, really? It's really crappy. I'm gonna go back to the slide. Amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing fruit. Sorry guys, I have to reload. So I got distracted and I put something where I wasn't supposed to put something, and I pointed and I touched the wrong thing. So it happens. I want to tell you it's a very simple peer-to-peer cycle though. This system is flawless. It works great. So again, I talked about spillage. I told you that if somebody winds up on your line A without any responsibility from you, then that would just be a person that's considered spillage. I also talked about how line B, you'll receive 50% of the donation if your team invited the new member, and 100% if you invited the member to your community, okay? So here again, we have Ed who finally brought his tenant. So Ed gets 50% and you get 50%. Ed brings his second person and you get 50% of the donation and he gets 50%. All right. Ed has made back his total contribution to this platform and he is happy because he's like, wow, I just paid rent and I brought 2 people to live with me that I actually kind of like. And guess what? I got my rent back and now I don't have to pay this landlord no rent. And I can do this over and over and over again and get rent and rent and rent and rent and keep doing it. So Ted said, yeah, well, let me bring somebody. So Ted brought his first person. He got half and I got half. And then Ted brings another person. He got half. But I don't get half because the second half of that payment goes to a special item and it starts me all over at the top of my own new community in a bigger, better house. Now, how is that? That's beautiful. And I got to tell you, this works the same way for everybody. So we have a menu to woe. Free member receives a 7-day free trial in our back office. The starter level where everybody must come in is there because you never know how little or how much money a person has. So when a person joins, always good to start at the starter level, be on every level that you can get on possibly because remember, each level has a financial literacy tool inside of there. We have the MLS comp plan. We have level 1 and level 2 and level 3 and level 4, all the way up to level 9. And we have the professional development suite, which we're learning all kinds of tools and financial literacy, wonderful inspirational videos. We have the Richest Man in Babylon. The whole book is back there. You can listen to it over and over and over again. You're learning tools from the ancients on how to acquire, to keep, and to grow your income. And these tools don't never change. Everything is set up in a way that's easy to learn, easy to retain, easy to duplicate. And once you're on each level, you're learning these tools. Also, we have the Trading Academy, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But here, everybody starts at starter level. So that means anytime there's someone you invite to this club, you'll always capture a donation because other people could jump around. They could go to level 3, they could go to level 5, they could go to level 9, they could go to level 7. And if you're not at the top of a community on a level that they joined, then you will not get the donation from the joining. So you should be on as many levels as you possibly can for that fact, as well as for the literacy that's inside of each level. So just know we have many sweet spots, we have many pluses, and we have a lot that's going on that makes this such a friendly environment. MLS Bitcoin Club, together we prosper, okay? So you can have it all for a limited time enrollment fee of $99, then $99 annually for membership dues. This can't be beat. Every community level offers new literacy, so indulge yourself. You got Crypto 101. You have how to increase your credit score. You have the corporation, how to start your own LLC or corporation or S Corp. It's easier than you think. It really is. Obtaining business financing, accessing finance advisor, and building your business credit. This is a business suite. The solo 401k, the home equity lines of credit, HELOCs and ALOCs, how to start your own family banking system, how to start your infinite banking system. It goes on and on and on. So we're building wealth within 5 simple steps. Set your goals and get ready to grow. You want to join the club? You can learn from a master trader how to put on and take off trades every day inside our trade room. We are trading. You sit down and we learn these tools. We learn how to set up our charts. We learn how to read price action, which is so valuable. We learn how to read our indicators, the CCI, the BB squeeze. We learn how to determine a candlestick versus a Hakanashi bar, how to tell a line chart from a graph or from a um, bar chart. We know where's the 50 period moving average. We know what the 200 period moving average is. We know when the price is trending up or down. We know how to read a sign of money. We know how to hedge. That means we're making money whether the market's going down or going up. This is absolutely a phenomenal opportunity that we have and experience inside this club that many people won't get to learn to trade in this manner ever in their life. There are many trading platforms teaching schools and classes and programs out there, but I'm gonna tell you, I picked up very quickly from this teacher. We are learning to read price action. We are learning to look at an indicator without even looking at a market and can tell whether it's doing good, whether it's trending up or down, what just occurred, how is it going, is it safe to put on a trade or take off a trade? We could tell that just by looking at indicators, not even seeing the market. Or vice versa, we can trade without indicators because we know how to read price action. It is phenomenal, and you want to be in this space, all right? So you have an elevation goal. That's the target L5 to drive. And again, L5 to drive is called that because once you cycle L5, once you're happy, why are you happy? Well, let's see. L5 is 1 Bitcoin and you want 4. And once you cycle that 4 times, we're talking about $33,000. That can happen in a week. That can happen in a month. Whatever it is way more than you came in with, and also way more than you can make on a typical job anywhere USA or outside of USA. But the special thing about L5 is when you cycle up a second time, our instructor, our mentor will give us an additional $500 in Bitcoin. We could take that $500 and pay our car note, or we could pay our bills, or we could put it in our training platform, or we could just put it in our trader and keep it, whatever makes us happy. This club is phenomenal. Don't forget, some members are receiving $2,000 to $16,000 a month or less. Can you imagine just cycling L1 in the starter level, right? Once you cycle that, that's $1,866, right? Or if you consider $622 4 times, if you bring everybody into your system, you might you can earn $622 in a week. You can do that every week. And in a month, that's $2,400. So you figure $2,400 a month, every month, on top of your pay or on top of whatever thing. Or if you want to do it over and over and over in less than a month, that is very possible. You choose how fast or how slow you want to make money inside of this club. And all you're doing is inviting people to learn the same things that you're learning here. And it's a peer-to-peer donation. Their fee that they pay as a membership enrollment and to get on a platform for education is then donated to the person who invited them, and so on and so forth, and it just repeats. We have a real wealth plan, a real financial education, retirement planning, super Saturday training calls every noon, Sunday night founders call at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have live event Tuesdays and Thursday evenings at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of this is in the MLS meeting room on the Zoom platform located here, this address right here. And we have daily elevation calls at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the call replay number is at 712-432-1085. So listen, just a note of advice. Crown ambassadors are millionaire status. Just 5 cycles per year produces this type of cash flow on an ongoing basis. And at this level, you're just getting started. We have projects that will consult in real estate, venture capitalists, angel investments, etc., etc., and the MLS Bitcoin Club. Together we prosper. This is really a great space to be. I want to thank you for attending my web call. My name is Cecilia Aiken. I'm from Jersey. I love to learn and earn. I'm a master trader in the training. I'm a proud MLS member, a mom, a proud grandma, a proud business owner, and my vision is broad. This is my vision board. I made it with a lot of thought. I made it with a lot of heart and emotion, and it's going to grow as I grow. There are some things on here that mean so much to me, and there are other things that mean so much to others. But one thing I can say, and 2 things for certain: everything on here has touched me, and everything in here I too shall touch. So, with that being said, again, my name is ForRealCeil. I have websites here listed. My ForRealCeil.com is my MLS Bitcoin Club invite and join sheet. My ForRealCeilLLC.com is my real estate investment site. My ForRealCeilLLC.net is my pre-foreclosure prevention website where you can get tools to help you learn about foreclosure and how to prevent it. If you want to, you could join there and get a free book that will show you how to save your home in trouble. And then, of course, 337go.com, Seal Aiken. Visit there, look at the videos, join for a free 7-day tour, and feel free to come on any of our webinars any Tuesday or Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, MLS Bitcoin Club is the only club that I know that has its own theme song. And I'm telling you, this song is out of sight. Wondering why it won't play. Let's see if I could go back. Well, nope, just don't know. It's always something with the webinar. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when it's going to act up. I'm going to try to play the song. I'm going to try to open present. I'm going to see if it does play. If it doesn't play, it won't play. I know it by heart. I could sing it, but I won't do that to you. But just know this. It's a really cool song. It's really grounded. It really has purpose. It has a meaning. It is really something that if you get to know it, you'll understand it, and it embodies what we are doing inside the MLS Bitcoin Club. So join us today. Get back to the person who brought you on this call. Have a great evening, guys.
It's all takes some money to currency is changing the world. A way to even the playing field. All of the people do is got cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency, changing how the world does business. Ask MLS system how to get in on this. Send money around the world almost free.
We don't need all banks, permission, you'll see. Tell your friends about MLS system. It'll raise your financial wisdom.
Spreading like a wildfire
all over the world.
That's our love, what it's all about. Thousands of dollars going through a worldwide currency. Only you can do well. MLS system is making it happen. Open your account and get tapped in. Digital currency is an emerging technology, a way to up your financial psychology. It's money
You can spend, let it grow exponentially before you dip in. So cryptocurrency, 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 changing how the world does business. Let's make sure that you get in on this.
Send money around the world almost free.
We don't need no days, permission, you see. Tell your friends about MLS system, innovation, financial wisdom.
Countries around the world
Are jumping in
creating ways
to ride the train,
line up
to accept Bitcoin.
every store. We'll join MLS system to give you your coin. Get in the mix, learn the tricks, get quick or fixing the time.
21.
MLS system to have some fun. Cryptocurrency, changing how the world does business.
So guys, get back to the person who invited you on this call. Join us today. Thank you for watching and have a great evening. Good night.